The American Steel and Wire Company owned a 40-year-old mill in Donora, and the town grew around this mill. Downtown shops flourished, trolley rails were installed for transportation, and housings for workers and their families began to be assembled. The steel mill became Donora's main export, supplying buyers with assortments of metals. The American Steel and Wire Company housed many hard-working employees. They were trained in science and steel industry technology during the employee voluntary instruction lectures to make them more familiar with the tools and ingredients they were working with. One of the mill workers was Edward Huhra, a surviving veteran of World War II. Born on June 25, 1916, Edward Huhra was an easygoing, patient, quiet family man outside of work. He was an avid sports fan and track star in high school. Edward was single and without child during the war, which he volunteered for in 1941. Edward, or Eddie as known by others, was in the Army Air Corps during World War II and was an air supply sergeant, and he painted planes for D-Day. Once World War II was over, he went back to working at the American Steel and Wire Mill. He was dedicated to his job, and his eventual wife, who he married later in the year of 1948 and had a child later on. He walked to work and even worked the graveyard shift to support his family. Sometimes he would go to the Steelers football games with friends during his free time. Eddie and a few of his friends decided to take a road trip around the country. At one of their stops, Edward bought a 1948 Chrysler. It was in 1967 that the American Steel and Wire Company closed down the mill in Donora. Many people lost their jobs, but this did not stop Edward Huhra. He moved on and applied for a job at the Christie Park Mill in McKeesport, which made bomb casings for the Vietnam War. Around this time, he took up golf as a hobby. As for Donora, thanks to the assistance of the Monongahela Industrial Development Agency and Chamber of Commerce in Pennsylvania, which eventually led to the Power Piping Company and the Babcock and Wilcox Company to set up shop in Donora. Through the townspeople's persistence and the help of their neighboring towns, most of the jobs have returned. One of Donora's many heroic veterans, Edward Huhra, died on July 6, 2003, at the age of 87. Once again, Pennsylvania was reminded that Donora is the home of champions.